I'd like to say that this is hun tears, but this morning, the Sevconian FC ex-leader, power broker, moneymaker, has brought Celtic into the media's attention in what can only go down. Oh, there we go. There we go. Can't hear myself. Long time no see. Rangers David Murray has done a piece in the paper. Went out at 6 o'clock this morning. David Murray accuses Celtic chief Peter Lawwell of trying to bury Rangers. The former Rangers owner has revealed that his brand new autobiography pulls no punches. He's skint, so he's wrote a book about trying to bury Rangers. Now this is the man who, when he put the pressure back in the 1990s, David Murray put the pressure on his friends at the Bank of Scotland to turn the screw on Celtic, even though there were only 5 million overdraft with the bank, which was not going to put the club into any financial difficulties. They wanted to kill off Celtic. They wanted to bury us. And they relished in the fact. And during the 1990s, David Murray also says, for every fiver that Celtic spend, we will spend a tenner. Just don't tell the taxman. Don't tell the taxman. Which years later ended up with this. Yes, 140 years of Rangers ends in 8 minutes. Rangers died. Rangers died. The facts are that David Murray can say all he wants. He's accused Peter Lawwell of trying to bury Rangers. The former now chairman has long been accused of holding too much influence in the Scottish power brokers. David Murray has accused them of... Now Celtic fans will say that's bullshit. Celtic never went far enough. And for years and years after it, Michelle was giving it the old hello. Years later, for many years later, the Celtic fans stood up at AGMs at Celtic, demanding that Celtic go further in the way that they did. They didn't turn the screw enough. For me, Rangers should never have been allowed to come back into the bottom tier. When you look at other clubs that have died over the years, Third Lanark, Gretna, for instance. The fact that Rangers entered administration on February the 12th, the 14th of February 2012, which was absolutely fantastic because it was one of those love days, wasn't it? And then they tried to enter a CVA with the taxman. That was rejected on the 1st of June 2012, and then the court approved the final liquidation on the 31st of October 2012. And during that time, David Murray sold the club for £1. Yes, £1. He passed the buck for £1 because he knew what was coming. And at that time, they were due between 9 and 14 million. Their company voluntary arrangement, their CVA, was rejected on June 12 and 14, triggering the liquidation process. The fact is that they lied to the taxman, that they lied and never paid taxes. They paid people in backhanders, they paid people in EBTs. But David Murray says in the media today that it's Celtic's fault. It's all fucking Celtic's fault. And all this will do is have Rangers turned into... have they turned into the Celtic of the 1990s? One of his companies, MG Mining, did business with Scottish Coal, where Peter worked. I once invited him and his wife to Ibrox for a game. He was delighted to accept it back then, which was good company. But the time he rose to become chief executive of Celtic, he was on a completely different trajectory. Well, that must have been in the 80s that you spoke to if he was working with Scottish Coal. One of my companies, GM Mining, did business with Scottish Coal back in the 80s. I need your money because all my other businesses have went tits up. My steel company's fucked and everything else. Rangers died. I need to feel that little bit of importance, and I'm going to fleece the Rangers fans and telling them it's Celtic's fault that your club died. Liquidation. One of the best halftime games ever was up. One of the best halftime games ever was up at Ross County, where Celtic fans did the old liquidation dance. Remember that? But I find it's funny that they're trying to rewrite history. And this is what David Murray's trying to do. They're trying to grab the agenda with the new Americans that are coming in and say, by the way, and the timing's all a bit funny, isn't it? That you've had the majority of Rangers men, we're fucking walking away. We don't do walking away. Give your money, America, we're walking away. It's the fact that the so-called Rangers men have all walked away faster than they could do anything, because let's face it, they don't have the money to catch Celtic. They've brought in Americans, and the agenda will be to rewrite history. It was Inverness game, wasn't it? It was Ross County. Sean Burst, you're right, it was Inverness game. It was the Inverness game, because I got my stadiums mixed up. It was the Inverness game. Sean, you were right, it was Inverness, because I got a speeding ticket that night. That day, I got a speeding ticket. Remember when you come down the hill from Inverness, they used to put a camera on the hill going down. The Huns are going bust, the Huns are going bust, they're never going to believe us, they're never going to believe us, they're never going to believe us, the Huns are going bust again, the Huns are going bust again. Anyway, that was brilliant time to be a Celtic fan, and we should keep it going. Don't let them change history, don't let them rewrite history. And the lie that David Murray is suggesting, that it was all about, for nearly 2 decades he built up power, says, honestly, I don't believe that at the end of this, the time the club was wielding far too much influence in Scottish football. At one point after I sold Rangers, it was positively revealing the demise of the club. He swayed on committees through friends and always used his strength and power when necessary. Of course, he had a job to do for his club, but one could argue, well, during his tenure, he was very, very influential. He was working against the Rangers. Fucking Jesus. It seemed to me there's always a way. Let's bury our Rangers. The big house must stay open. Yeah, that worked. So David Murray revealed how Sean Connery lost £1 million when Rangers went bust. The fucking oh God, Jesus. Anyway. So he's got a whole article in the Daily Record, as you'd expect. After he put £1 million into the club, no one knew about it. It was our time. I was raising 50 million in 2004. I was raising 50 million in 2004, and I raised 2. He goes on to say, I asked Sean if he could invest. Can you invest in the club? He said, fucking go there. I'll give you £1 million there. I'll give you £1 million. Just don't fucking tell any cunt, right? Just don't tell any freaking bastards and that. Oh, I'm saying. There were no guarantees he should have taken professional advice, but he was adamant. He just wanted in. I wanted in. Part of the establishment and that. McCoist was manager when Craig White sank the club. Oh, God. Oh, boom. What a fucking knobbit. David Murray says McCoist was manager when Craig White sank the club's operating company into liquidation. The club's operating company. Yeah, the different entity. It wasn't the club that died. It was the operating company. He sank it into liquidation. You can't take a club away. One of the best games ever. He stayed to lead Rangers through the lower leagues and resigned after 2014, after a fallout with Mike Ashley-backed regime. Remember Mike Ashley when he came in and he's going to just take over everything and just sell strips and stuff and make billions and billions and billions. Nobody ever knows how good oh, Jesus God. Oh, Murray writes, nobody will ever know how good a manager Alistair could have become for Rangers. It was all going so well for him at one stage. He just couldn't beat the Celtic, could he? Brilliant. Oh my goodness. Absolutely fantastic. The lies, your lies are well. Sean Connery, yes, it was me. I put in £1 million. You bastards! I never got it back. I'll come and fucking hunt you, you motherfucker. But anyway. David Murray then goes on to say it's very hard to judge him as manager because those circumstances, thank God he was there, because the troubles that became the glue would somehow hold it together under enormous pressure. I'm so happy he's gone to carve out such a hugely successful media career. Schwab or what? Anyway, the book has a recommended retail price of £22. It's on sale from the 3rd of July on Amazon. Watch this be on sale for $4.99 within 3 days. He's trying to get 22 quid a book for it. Tragedy, Courage and Titles by David Murray. Tragedy and Courage and Titles by Sir David Murray. That's the name of the book. Oh, fucking can't beat it, man. Oh my goodness. You can't beat it. You just can't beat it. Anyway, you just cannot beat it. They're going to be an absolute meltdown. The Huns today will be like, fucking you Fenian bastards trying to kill us. It's not the fact that you know, this all happened because you didn't pay your tax. £22, he must be scant. Yeah, he's trying to sell a book for £22. One half a spoon on your Rice Krispies in the future, Buzz. It's unbelievable, isn't it? And the fact that the paper, and in fact, it is one of those papers that are there. Taxman passes death sentence on 140 years of Rangers history. R.I.P. Rangers RFC. And you know, they put that out, and now they're giving him the platform to say that it was all lies. It wasn't his fault. It was Celtic's fault. They made it happen. They were against us. It was their fault. The big boy in the playground pushed me. Take pity on me. Me and my sticks. Anyway, the bigoted brothers will be out in force today, saying that it's the truth. David Murray's telling the truth. It's all Peter Lawwell's fault. We should never have went through what we went through. We were punished. We were pushed down to the lower leagues by Peter Lawwell. Never mind the fact that we went into liquidation and died. Look at the fact that, you know, that there was other clubs that over the years, Third Lanark, Greenock, Motherwell got a cease. They got a voluntary agreement and they were bought over by the fans. Dundee United got a voluntary agreement and paid off their part. No one actually went through the whole liquidation way that Rangers did and wiped out their debt completely by not paying anybody, not paying the face painter, not paying the 300 and other odd companies and people that but it is the Rangers way to blame everyone else bar them. Anyway, wonder what else is his fault. The legless business wonder. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, that is just about the Murray bombshell. The lies that Peter Lawwell tried to kill Rangers. Celtic fans know that Peter Lawwell didn't go far enough, and there's a lot of people, including, do you know, I might actually give Paul Larkin a shout. The book will be sold for $16.90 within days. What about the club that shafted to get back into the league? Yeah, exactly. I think we need to get I'm going to give Paul a message and have his thoughts on it. Money must be really hurting watching us dominate right now. Chopper, I think that the fact that we did it in our own style, we didn't cheat the system. We played the game that it should be played in a financial sense. We run the business the way that he couldn't run the business. He tried to run the business. He tried to run Rangers FC by paying people in little Ponzi tax schemes that were ultimately illegal, but they never got. And do you know? And then there's the players that walked away, the players that said at the time that are still in the media. You know, one of them went on to manage Hearts. It's not the same Rangers. You know, a goalkeeper that walked away. There was lots of players that walked away because their contract was null and void. You know, the company went bust. They didn't need to continue with the new Sevco as it was. But anyway, Murray is a low down bum. Yeah, I think he is. It'll be 42 pence within weeks. Anyway, that's me done and dusted for this morning. Got a couple of things I need to do. The lies. Your lies are well renowned. Oh, David Murray. Anyway, what an absolute... don't say it in public.